I'm putting out some material. I took like a little 4 hour cat nap. I'm finna go back to sleep for a couple of hours, then get up, get ready for work. So, after being called out and basically everybody demanding that Malika Andrews addresses this situation with Josh Giddey, since she has no problem throwing black men under the bus. She basically did what I told you she would do due to the pressure that was mounting for them to basically discuss this subject. And keep in mind, we did this. Now, I know it's going to be some people that's going to come here trolling and hating because they're mad, because they think us um, black content creators don't have influence and we don't have the pool to make these corporate, entities like ESPN address this. Shout out, hey Torian, good job, man. Shout out to Torian Rain. I'm gonna bring Torian Rain on here. We gonna do a segment because people been asking about it. But Torian Rain basically got the ball rolling when basically he put out a tweet calling Malika Andrews out for ignoring this story, and basically it made it to the ESPN front desk. They had no choice but to talk about this because everybody was getting on Malika Andrews, because Malika Andrews has no problem throwing black men under the bus, attacking black men, and having this vitriol that she shows on a regular basis towards black men whenever they do something remotely wrong. So at the end of the day, shout out to my brother Torian Rain because everybody saw it and it went viral. I told you guys that these people watch our videos. And I could tell you the producer were like, well, you have to address this because people are accusing you of only going after black men. Now, let me tell you the next step. I predicted that they was going to do a run by. I told you they was going to do a run by segment. Where was the panel? Where was the long 15-minute panel discussing the nature of these allegations versus this is a serious allegation against him. Now, keep in mind, this dude is on the verge of losing a $40 million endorsement with some kind of cereal company in Australia. So if they're taking this serious, why isn't the NBA taking this serious? And the NBA wasn't going to do nothing or say anything about it until we were calling the NBA front office. They have people that watch videos. They can't ignore social media. It's too big because a lot of us have a lot of influence. And like I told you, you would be surprised who watches my channel. Real talk. I go to these boxing events. These people know who I am. Some of them like me, some of them don't. But no, I'm not satisfied because it was what you call a run by. She did a quick segment and got up out of there. But if this was a black dude that was accused of this, they would have had this long panel with Richard Jefferson and other people talking about it. I mean, come on. Malika Andrews, she would have been the first one to talk about, well, this is unfortunate and I'm appalled that somebody like him of his caliber would even participate in something. Like I said, she didn't have no problem going after Brandon Miller. And like I said, a man, Adrian Payne, had just lost his life. Like I said, man wasn't even buried yet, but she brought up some incident that he was accused of in college that was basically not further pursued by the administration because they thought the person in question wasn't telling the truth. She didn't even have to bring that up. Oh, it was very short. It wasn't even a minute. It might have been maybe 45 seconds. At best, maybe a minute and some change. But she ain't slick. And don't nobody come on here talking about, well, she talked about it. Isn't that good enough? No, absolutely not. Because when Brandon Miller was drafted, this man is walking the stage to shake hands with the commissioner. She brings this up. Now, I don't know if you guys know, for the most part, he can hear what she's saying. They can hear when they're doing those segments, breaking down the draft, talked about the pros and cons of a player when he's drafted. Those dudes can hear what they're saying. She was just, and you could just tell she was just looking stupid. And like I said before, let me tell you what she's gonna do. Eventually, she's gonna address the whole only targeting black men. This is what she's gonna say. She's gonna say that she's offended by it and it's preposterous that she only goes. She gonna use those exact words. She's highly offended. She feels offended and it's preposterous to think that she only targets black men and she has a black father. I promise you she gonna use those words because I've seen this way too many times. And then she's gonna say she's from Oakland. Watch. Y'all know I've been doing this for way too long. She's predictable. And ESPN is predictable. My thing is, where's Shannon Sharp at? Shannon Sharp need to be called out too. He had no problem constantly going in on John Morant. Shannon Sharp's have daughters. If I'm not mistaken, he has a daughter. If I'm not mistaken. So now all of a sudden, ESPN didn't want to talk about it. They're busted. What up, CB? Yeah, Shannon Sharp. I just want to. Somebody need to ask Uncle Sharp. Go to his social media. Go to Charles Barkley. Go to Shaquille O'Neal. Because like I say, they don't have no. Go to Stephen A. Smith. Go to Jason. Go to Jason Whitlock. Why ain't they talking about the white boy? Because like I say, they don't have no problem wagging their finger at black men. But Malika Andrews thought she was slick. ESPN thought no, we're not satisfied. We want segments. We want, you know what I'm saying? People that are victims. Because she went out of her way to find that rabbi to talk about Kyrie Irving. Like I said, Kyrie Irving cut all this flack over just saying he was going to watch the damn movie. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. And people could play these games about race doesn't play a factor in these things. Of course it does. If you're going to sit up here and perpetrate that lie, then, you know, you shouldn't be taken serious. Shouldn't be taken serious. Because you're lying. We all know the media, via Roger Al, that was his motto. Demonize his version of demonize the other. What he meant was demonize black people at all costs. She ain't saying nothing about, she talked about violence against women. She ain't talked about the WNBA person that got into it with their wife or girlfriend. She ain't talked about Brittany Griner. She didn't have nothing to say about that. Since she an advocate of fair treatment of women, but like I said, she's not an advocate of fair treatment of women. Keep in mind the situation with Emi Udoka. They went out of their way to try to protect that woman's identity. And they was putting this all on Emi Udoka. And they was making it look like what he did was against the law, like he violated the lady. When this was a lady that stepped out on her husband, but then Malika Andrews calls herself sitting up saying, oh, well, we're not going to blame this on women. Like, first of all, nobody made her open up her legs. She stepped out on her husband, so she should be condemned for that. Wait a minute. So let me get this straight. A woman can step out on her husband and she's not condemned. But when Tiger Woods stepped out on his wife, which cost him hundreds of millions of dollars, I mean, Tiger Woods was, he was ran through the mud. They made it look like he was the worst person on the face of the earth. But then again, it was because he did it to a white woman. I wish people would stop playing these games and trying to insult people's intelligence, and particularly black people's intelligence, because you can't insult our intelligence. because we know what's up. It's right before our eyes. You do it right before our eyes. And you cannot do the Jedi mind trick. And you cannot pull that, oh, it's not factual because a white guy said it. Or it's not factual. You don't know what you're talking about because I'm white and I say so. No, that's not working anymore. It never worked on me. We know what Malika Andrews did. We know what she all about. She just has a long laundry list. Once again, these are the people she went after. She had no problem going after Brandon Miller. Had no problem going after Joe Mazzulla, who she brought up some kind of incident that happened with him when he was in college, which was a long time ago. It's funny how people love to bring up our past, but then when people that don't look like us have a past, they say that's a long time ago. I moved on, leave it alone. Once again, Brandon Miller. She went after Brandon Miller. She went after Joe Mazzulla. Didn't say nothing about Christoph Porzingis, who was accused of holding a black lady against her will and saying she was going to be a slave. Went after Emi Udoka. Hasn't really, was forced to say something about Josh Giddey. Had something to say about Kevin Porter Jr. Went after Kyrie Irving, who all he said was he was going to watch a movie. They went after John Morant for basically posting a picture or being on Instagram in Colorado just holding up a gun, which they couldn't prove was a real gun. Then the next time it turned out to be a lighter, and he got suspended for 25 games, and then she went after Adrian Payne. So she has a long list. Didn't say nothing about Luke Walton being accused of inappropriate behavior. So, no. Nice try. So for you people that's going to come on here and try to say this isn't about race, fuck you. Real talk. And no, I'm not satisfied. Because like I said, we want the long 15, 10-minute segments about how this is wrong and how you know, whether it's proven that she was even the age of 16 and the age of consent is 16 in Oklahoma. Why? Since they want to talk about morals. Because like I said, help me understand you 21 years old and you screwing around with a girl that ain't old enough to drink. And then you linking up with her at clubs. See, that's what they need to be investigating. The alcohol thing. Did he know that she was underage and he met up with her at a club and he was buying her drinks? Now, he's only 21. Now, did this happen when he was 20? What was he doing in a nightclub? The legal age to drink in Oklahoma is 21. But yeah, she thought she could do that. She thought she could do that run by and thought it would be all good. Nah, nice try, Malika. We ain't satisfied. Ain't good enough. We want you to go after Josh Giddey with the same intensity you go after black men. And before some cornball come on here saying, well, the facts haven't came out yet. Well, the facts didn't come out about everybody else that she went after. She made up her mind about them. Once again, Kyrie Irving did not commit a crime, but yet he was vilified like he was the man. Stop it. Same thing with John Morant. So I just wanted to do a quick briefing to let you guys know what was up. And, I didn't get a chance to talk about it earlier, but I'm on this thing. So more to come. It's your boy Tan. I'm out.